Okay, then. We've taken care of the old guys. Now it's time for your newbies. New School Alkies, welcome. This is a fresh take on alcoholic recovery and the big book and navigating life after addiction for you new Jenners. Now, I'm going to put a stake in the ground and you won't like it. If you became a member of AA after 2010, you are a new School Alkie. Why? Because that is when the ACA, Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare went into effect. How does this affect you? Why does this affect you? Well, the ACA required that substance abuse be a covered inpatient or outpatient rehab health benefit. Prior to this, you'd see on TV shows where the rich family would send so and so off to rehab in Santa Barbara and they'd sit around drinking mock mimosas and talking about their Gucci handbags. So once the ACA passed, the whole landscape of addiction and substance abuse and taking care of those disorders and treatments changed. It became big business. No longer was it only if your insurance covered it or only if your parents could afford $10,000 to send you to rehab. Now everybody could go to rehab for anything. This was a paradigm change in how we looked at mental health and alcohol and addiction recovery in our society. And yes, it also opened the doors to a flood of the good and the bad. And unfortunately, the bad does come with the, but we're not focusing on that. So, what does this mean for you, you new school alkie, you? Well, it means that you got treated differently. You get treated in a meeting more like a rehab, the way they used to treat Old Testament drunks, which was a very strict and harsh type of way to get sober. I'm not here to judge whether one is more corrector than the other. That's not my job. I'm here to point out that there is a differential. And let's talk about that because it makes a difference. If you're the only one sitting at a meeting with a latte and you look around and maybe you got a man bun and no one else does because they're all gray and grizzled and they're drinking black coffee like it's battery acid, but they're putting it down, you're at an Alzheimer's meeting and they're going to treat you different, look at you different, and expect different than if you go to a meeting and you look around and, hey man, you got, mock pretzels and lattes and, oh, look, there's a fruit bar. Again, different places, difference of styles and how we do meetings. So be aware of your surroundings. Understand that if someone is a little gruff and mean, I should correct that. I don't mean mean, but a little gruff and a little more like sandpaper. Remember, they didn't have some of the advantages that you did. They didn't have the thought processes that came along. So let's ask yourself, are you looking at cult members or are you just passing through? I mean, are you sitting in a meeting and you're looking around and you're going, wow, what is this cult? I'm just here for the getting the paper signed. I went to court and the guy said, look, I got to go visit a couple of meetings, or hey, I got caught at work and I need to do random testing in a bunch of meetings, but I'm not sticking around with these guys. I'm still having a good time. I'm still drinking. I get to go out with my buddies. I'm just going to do this for a few months until I get dried out and I get clear of this. That is a real dangerous and slippery slope because you're really putting yourself on the line of are you a drunk or just a heavy drinker? And again, that's not something I can tell you personally, but if you look around and over the past few years, all of the guys and gals and ladies and kids and friends that you had start dropping off and they're getting married and they're starting careers and they're actually staying at a job and you're still going out multiple times a week, or maybe you're staying home but you're drinking a lot at home alone, maybe you want to look at that. And I cannot mention this topic enough. Do not stalk the newcomer. And if you feel as a newcomer you're being stalked, tell somebody. Safety is our most important concern for you in a meeting. Okay, we want you to be sober, yes, but we want you to be safe. There is no call for anybody to make you feel uneasy at a meeting. There's also not a dating app for AA. This is not go and hook up with another recovering alcoholic. You're there to get sober. You're there to find yourself. You're there to clean up your side of the street and have that spiritual experience. So, how many girlfriends do you think Gandhi had while he was trying to get to that path of enlightenment? And you really don't hear about Jesus dating around a lot, do you? Treat yourself like you are important, like you are on the path to recovery. You are looking for that enlightenment because you are. You're looking to change your life completely. If you really want dating advice, watch 28 Days. Steve Buscemi will tell you in the first year, get a plant. And if you can keep that alive, in the second year, get a pet. And if you can keep that alive, maybe by the third year, you can think about dating. Also, make sure you stay and watch the after scene with Gunter. It is hysterical. All right, enough of my movie reviews. We've also talked about the coins in the past and how important they are, and they really are important to the newcomers and the new school alkies because they give you that sense of accomplishment. In the past, it was like, okay, here's your coin. They were grateful. They knew they'd earned it. But for some reason, everybody gets a ribbon in our generation type of ideology, and even the younger ones where they didn't get a ribbon, but they all felt they deserved to have snacks after soccer. Look, you're getting something for what you're doing. Enjoy it. Also, watch my podcast on the colors for the coins. You might learn something. This also brings me to our last subject, which is gratitude. And this ties into everything. If you are just a drive-by, if you're just there to get your things signed, or maybe you just want to get a couple of coins to show your family that you can go a month or two without drinking, you have no gratitude for this program. And unfortunately, you won't last. We can see it. You can come in and you can behave like everything is beautiful and, it's rainbows and unicorns, but we all know it isn't. So if you're going to have that gratitude and you genuinely have a feeling of growth, we'll see that. Why? Because the promises, which are read at every meeting, for you will start coming true, and you will see it, and you will start changing, and we will see that. So, if you make it to Gratitude Month, which is November, or you make it to your annual anniversary, think about making a gratitude donation to the GSO. Hope to see you at a meeting soon, and until next time, take care and remember recovery only requires that I stay sober one day at a time, and that day is today.